US President Barack Obama is casting his vote in the presidential election. I think we can bring you those shots now. And this is, I think, the first time a sitting president has cast his vote early, Michael.
Yes, it is, and it continues a pretty significant trend we're seeing in this particular poll of lots of Americans, particularly those in those 8 or 9 swing states, of putting their votes in early. We've had states like Ohio. I hope he's not asking for suggestions about who to vote for here. Yes, he's ticked all the boxes, assuming he ticked Barack Obama 1 and I don't know whether it's 2 to Mitt Romney or nothing for Mitt Romney.
Is it a bit of a worry if the president needs help figuring out the voting program?
Yes, it could be a technical issue. We never know. And of course, it's rather interesting. In different states, there are different polling mechanisms. Some have electronic polling. Some have this ballot papers that we're all very familiar with here in Australia. I'd love to know what the issue is here.
Is it your wife? No, that's my wife's. I just want to make sure. You always take that phone call, no matter what you do.
I did hear the president saying then he just wanted to make sure, now whether he was sure about voting for the Democratic ticket or not. Of course, it's not just for the presidential race. The president, like every voter, is going to be voting for congressmen in his district, senators for Chicago, and there even might be a couple of local government races in this agenda. So he could be taking his time for that, Karina, what could be a rather extensive ballot paper.
And his big message is vote early. So that's their big message, is to vote early, and you can see the president is doing that himself now. It caps off a really busy 24 to 40 hours for the president, where he's managed to visit 6 swing states. We heard his comments earlier that he's losing his voice, he's a bit hoarse. He's managed to make an appearance on Jay Leno's program. Are you getting what he's saying?
Yeah, I think he's getting to the end of the process. How do you feel being that electoral officer there, being called upon to support this, help this particular voter in Chicago?
It might have ended up making his day.
Well, this was wonderful. Thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you, Ian.
For all of you who have not yet early voted, I just want everybody to see what an incredibly efficient process this was, thanks to the outstanding folks who are at this particular polling place. Obviously, folks in Illinois can take advantage of this, but all across the country, we're seeing a lot of early voting. It means you don't have to figure out whether you need to take time off work, figure out how to pick up the kids, and still cast your ballot. If something happens on election day, you will have already taken care of it. If it's bad weather, you won't get wet. Or in Chicago, snowy. This was really convenient. I can't tell you who I voted for, but I very much appreciate everybody here, and it's good to be home, back in the neighborhood. Chuck, it's good to see all our local press. All right, we appreciate you guys. I miss you guys. All right, let's take a picture with everybody. Is that allowed? We got to figure out whether this was. I think it's allowed. All right, I think it's allowed. I think it's all right, right? And I'll shake it, but I can't. You guys gotta. You can't be behind the. But let me shake everybody's hands. What's your name? Good to see you. Nice to see you, man. Nice to see you, sir. Okay. Yeah. I'm not sure it's legal. I don't want to break any laws in front of this many cameras. So, what do you think? I think it's okay.
I think the issue is here that the president's arranging for a photographer to photograph him putting his ballot in the relevant box there.
I don't want to move back there, though, because I don't want to...
He's very wary of electoral rules. As a former constitutional professor, you think he would be across this.
I think as well he wants to have a photograph with all of the volunteers working in that office.
We'll stay on these pictures for a time because it's terrific. This is American democracy in action here. And the president's walking over to what could be a ballot box, or he may have given his ballot paper to somebody already, but he's still posing for photos. Let's stay with the pictures while the president's in the room there. A lot of voters have voted early because, let's not forget, polling day in America is on a Tuesday, which is pretty inconvenient to a lot of people. They've either got to go before work, as the president mentioned, squeeze it in after work. The weather may be inclement. It's just a really inconvenient day to vote for lots of people, which makes you really appreciate the ability to vote on a weekend for all of us here.
Yeah, many states in the US are holding open in-person polls this week. The First Lady, Michelle Obama, voted by absentee ballot on October the 15th.
Very popular president, certainly in that ballot booth in Chicago, taking photos. I think we'll leave it there.